Hello, this is Xiao Lou from the Industry 2 Team H, and our company name is XIX Shares, and my co-workers are Sean Baker and Shandong Liang. Our vision is to provide high-performance footwear to enhance athletic performance through effective productivity and luxury materials, and provide value to our shareholders and customers by creating a truly sustainable company. We are responsible for our customers and will strictly guarantee the quality of every footwear on the product line. We are responsible for our employees and will keep maintaining a harmonic working environment. For the competitivity strategy in branded footwear, we are keeping the footwear price close to the predicted price in order to get the price advantage. And we do also offering the variety of models, so our customers will have more choice from our product line. And we do apply to use the recycle package and boxing, and also ethic training for all our employees and workforce diversity program to maintain the image rating of brand. And we do keep observing the change of the performance charts in order to fix any issue of operation. And we also upgrade assembly line facilities to reduce the reject rate while increasing the productivity. And for the competitive strategy in private labor, we are using more superior materials and enhance the styling in order to get a higher quality and keep the SQ rating high. And we are offering more regular or overtime private labor pairs when the image rating of the brand is high enough. And we do try to keep the price in the same level each year, but we do reduce the price if necessary. And as we do for the branded footwear, we also will do upgrade the assembly line and productivity to reduce the reject rate while increasing the productivity.
Hi, this is Shandong Liang from Group H Industry 2. First, I will talk about our annual total revenues. At the start of the game, we can see that from year 10 to year 12, our annual total revenues grew at an ideal level. But in year 13, since the market price decreased a lot, and we failed to decrease our price, therefore we lost of the revenues at year 13. And in year 14, we still didn't decrease our price a lot. So at that year, the revenues continues decreases. But in year 15 and year 16, we decreased our price at the same level as the market prices. So in these years, we increased our revenues a lot. But in year 17, since the market prices continuous decrease, what we should do is we have to do our best to prevent loss of the revenues. And for the earnings per share, we do think our earnings per share was successful because our overall trend for it is increasing, and every year it was above the investors' expectation. In year 13 and year 14, since we failed to operate well as these years, the earnings per share decreased a lot. But in year 15 through year 17, we changed our strategy for our private label shoes, and we decreased our prices a lot to keep it at the same level as the market price. So in these years, our earnings per share increased a lot. And for the global market share, in year 11 and year 12, the global market share were at a proper level. But in year 13 and year 14, since we failed our price strategy, many of our market share were occupied by our competitors. And in year 15 and year 16, since we changed our price strategy and the strategy of private label shoes, we got back the market shares, and we reached it as the highest number in year 16. In year 17, since the market was in another depression, we can't supply enough of the shoes for the 4 regions, and we have some issues for the distribution, so our market share again dropped to 9.9%. And for the stock price, the overall trend of the stock price is also increased, and each year it was above the investor expectation, except year 14. And compare it to the earnings per share, we can see that they have the similar trend. Therefore, we think that when the earnings per share increases, the stock price will also increase. Therefore, we didn't issue lots of stocks each year. Instead, we repurchased many of the stocks in order to increase our earnings per share. And through year 15 to year 17, the stock price increased a lot, and we think it is because our strategy change was successful.
Hi, this is Sean Barker, and next we will be discussing the strategic exercise results. In the table at the top, we can see the last 3 years of the BSG results with year 15, 16, and 17, with our overall performance score of 80.3 for the 3-year strategic plan. Our strategic plan was consistent throughout the duration of the BSG challenge. This included keeping prices predictive to ensure customers remain loyal, using superior materials to ensure high product quality, utilizing financial discipline to meet shareholder needs, and by offering multiple models of different shoes. XSX Shoes, or Team H, set goals that were achievable every year while also increasing financial value for our shareholders. Notably, we wanted to increase earnings per share and return on equity every year during the 3-year strategic plan. Actual results exceeded target goals in every single category during the 3 years. We most accurately predicted our credit rating, while we failed to accurately predict our return on equity and stock price. The large discrepancy between target and actual caused our score to drop considerably, and as noted in the table at the top, our return on equity and our image rating were one of the worst categories for us as a company. However, we did score relatively high for our credit rating. That was the best category that we scored in. As previously mentioned, there were large discrepancies across the board for XSX Shoes. This was driven mostly due to our conservative approach when setting targets. We did not anticipate such rapid growth in the last 3 years, and thus we understated our goals. For future strategic planning, we will need to conduct better research and not engage in what's known as sandbagging. Now we will look at the competitor analysis to determine which company was most aligned with Team H. We truly believe that our biggest competitor during the BSG challenge was Company F, or F-tastic company. Their competitive advantages were very similar to ours in that they offered multiple models and had strong model availability. Additionally, they had a moderate to mini product line breadth in their internet and wholesale segments. This team was also consistent with their pricing, much like our Team XSX shoes. Below is a screenshot of the year 17 results for the internet segment and the wholesale segment. And you can see very clearly that Team F and Team H were very, very similar in terms of product line breadth and product line breadth for both wholesale and internet segment as well. I think our next closest competitor would probably have to be Team A based on these results alone. Again, these results are for year 17 only. However, if you go back to previous years, you can see very, very similar results as depicted here. Competitor analysis continue. Next, we're going to do a real quick high-level financial dive into Team F. Team F's earnings per share was also very similar to ours during the BSG challenge. Here you can see year 11 through 17 for Team F and Team H down at the bottom of the table. Team F's weighted average for years 11 through 17 were 5.15, while Team H had a weighted average earnings per share of 4.64. Although there were other teams such as D and G that were closer to us in weighted average, we believe that their business model and competitive advantages were similar to ours, that we believe that they were our closest competitor. During the majority of the BSG challenge, our net income trailed Team F very closely during the basically all of the years that were posted. And again, although we did not rank as high as Team F did, we believe that our similar approach in offering multiple models allows them to be our closest competition. Team F's strategy involved having predictive shoe prices, offering a deep line of models, and pivoting sales toward private line labels as the market shifted in later years. And later on you will see that we had very, very similar results in shifting towards private label sales later in the years. Lastly, we're going to look at some of the lessons learned as a team and as a company, and kind of identify some of the things we did well and some of the things we could do better. I think for us as a team, the most important lesson that we learned was understanding that it is crucial to continuously adjust operations during all the BSG years. Going back and revisiting your strategy and making changes as necessary, both of those things are absolutely crucial. And I think if we had that sort of foresight in the beginning, we would have had a lot more success later on in the challenge. Another thing that we learned was understanding that increasing advertising can be a very effective method in gaining market share. There will be an initial expense with that, but I believe that the long-term payoff of advertising can yield financial success for companies. Another thing that we learned was to make sure as a company that we're focusing on all geographic locations and understanding the market needs of each location. We don't want to just focus on one location, but rather sort of diversify our portfolio and help mitigate any losses. And also it's focusing on all the locations is a good risk management approach. And lastly, I think the last lesson learned for us as a team was identifying a common competitor during the BSG challenge and using them as a benchmark financially, and understanding what they do well and what they don't do well, and try and emulate some of those successes, and identify some of the weaknesses, and just go from there as a company. Thank you.